Three current Multnomah County commissioners are running for Multnomah County chair. The county chair sets priorities for the county, presiding over a $2.8 billion budget that includes jails, social services, courts, bridges, libraries, and more. We've already talked to two of the chair candidates on this program, and this week we speak with a third, Multnomah County Commissioner Lori Stegmann, a small business owner, insurance agent, and former president of the Gresham City Council. Lori Stegmann, thanks for joining me on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you, Ken. It's great to be here, especially with all the things going on in the world right now. It really is a privilege to be here with you. So thank you for having me.
Well, as I mentioned, the chair sets priorities for Multnomah County. If you were elected chair, what would be your priorities?
Yeah, my priorities would be, I think, what everyone's priorities are right now, and that is to implement policies and strategies to solve the root causes of homelessness, criminality, addiction, and behavioral health disorders. And to do that, I believe that some of the root causes of these issues are generational poverty, trauma, shame, and racism. So we need to go upstream and offer people access to opportunities so that they can make better choices for themselves and their families. And to do that, we will make our communities stronger and safer. So some of the ways that we can do that is by providing economic stability, reducing barriers, and increasing much needed resources in specific areas, which as chair, why I will create an Office of Reentry Services to prevent people from churning through our criminal justice system. I will lead the change to review and update our civil commitment laws and create a team similar to the Portland Street Response. I also will create a 24/7 first responder drop-off site and detox center with urgency. I will create an economic development and workforce stability department also to connect people to jobs and career training as well.
Okay, let's break some of these down. Multnomah County oversees the Joint Office of Homeless Services, which is going through a restructuring now after Executive Director Mark Jolin resigned recently and Shannon Singleton replaced him.
Yes.
The Joint Office slated to spend some $150 million this year. Why hasn't it been as effective at this point as many people would like to see?
Well, I think that there's kind of some expectations that really weren't, one of the housing bonds, we were supposed to develop 3,900 units of affordable housing, but that was within a 10-year time period. So we are approaching those numbers, but it is a long time horizon. And so I think what the challenge is that we haven't matched the cadence of solutions with the crisis and that has just fallen on us due to COVID, to economic challenges and all of those things. So it really has been problematic. Nobody saw a pandemic coming, and that did put us back quite a ways when we were trying to prevent the spread of COVID, especially through our homeless population. So we have a lot of challenges, a lot of work ahead, but I'm confident that we can get there. And some of the ways that we are doing that is based on the work that I've been doing with the Joint Office of Homeless Services. So in East County, we are establishing an East County Homeless Service Center along with 50 beds of alternative shelter. We are also, I'm leading the transfer of nearly 4 acres to build 100 affordable units in Troutdale. So we have a lot of things that we're working on that will really get people into housing quickly, like master leases and rapid rehousing. And I've also worked with the 3000 Challenge folks that are really trying to get people into the already existing units that are available by working more closely with landlords and with nonprofits.
Well, obviously you're concentrating on East County, that's where you're from. But overall, how would you deal with the county's homeless crisis? You talked numbers, in the hundreds, but we've got thousands who are on the street.
Yes, absolutely. I think what the problem is too is that we need to create a dashboard. So we're working with an organization called Built for Zero. So as you know, the point in time count is not really a sufficient measure of how many individuals are homeless or houseless. But more importantly, we need to know where the gaps are in services. So by creating a dashboard that says who and how many people are homeless, how many beds are we lacking in emergency housing? And the other thing is that we need to work. I really want to work with Metro and the city of Portland to create a safe car and RV camping site. So all of those things, yes, and we do need to create especially family shelter. And we have some really great transitional housing models out here in East County. One is called My Father's House. And so it's really about having this throughput of continuum of services so that you maybe go through emergency shelter and then you can advance into transitional housing. And then if you need permanent supportive housing, then that is an option. And then ultimately just into housing. And so by making sure that we're looking and matching what the needs are all along that continuum is how we solve the crisis.
We've got just a couple of minutes left here, and we're starting to see COVID cases rise again in Multnomah County. The county health department is under the commission's purview. Do you see us going back to mask mandates or other COVID restrictions?
I don't think so. Even when we had masks, there was no definitive facts that said people were contracting COVID, for instance, in restaurants. And we know that our restaurateurs and our travel industries, were devastated. So I think that we really have to follow the science about if and where people are contracting COVID and what those appropriate responses are. So I think we just have to follow the data. And I really don't think that, wearing masks is probably the most appropriate use, but certainly I know that there are people that have compromised immune systems, and we always want to be, caring about those individuals as well.
Well, Commissioner Lori Stegmann, thank you for joining me on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you, Ken.